Hi, today we're going to solve these equations simultaneously using substitution. This is worked example 5 and it's in exercise 6.02. Alright, so we're going to rework, we're going to call this one equation 1. Whoops. Oh, I've made it very small. Tiny. That's very clever. Alright, I'm going to select a blue pen. Let's call this one equation 1 and let's call this equation 2. Alright, so let's rework 1. Equation 1 to make A the subject. That means it's A equal to 0. So 2B minus A is equal to 3. Minus A is equal to 3 minus 2B. Now we don't like this minus A bit, so we're going to multiply by negative 1 on both sides, and I'll end up with A is equal to minus 3 plus 2B. Alright, so now I'm going to substitute the above into equation 2. Alright, so everywhere that there is an A, I'm going to put in this minus 3 plus 2B. So let's have a look. I've got A plus 3B is equal to 7. So this A becomes that minus 3 plus 2B plus 3B equals 7. Gather like terms. I've got 2B and 3B. So minus 3 plus 5B is equal to 7. I'm going to add the 3 to both sides. So I end up with 5B is equal to 10. And B is then equal to 2. Alright, so now I've got B is equal to 2. I'm just going to slide for a minute. So the next step is to substitute B equals 2 and solve for A. Now, I'm going to substitute it back into equation 1. Okay, so equation 1 is 2B minus A equals 3. So we know that B is 2, so 4, I've already done it. 2 times 2 gives me 4. Minus A is equal to 3. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides and I get to minus 1. And then I've got negative A and negative 1 again, so I'm going to do that trick by multiplying both sides by negative 1 and turn it around, and A equals 1. Now I need to do the check. So let's substitute in B equals 2, A equals 1 into, let's just choose equation 1, 2B minus A equals 3. I'm just going to scroll. So where there is a B, I'm going to put a 2. 2 times 2 minus 1 is going to be equal to 3. 4 minus 1 equals 3. That's correct. Alright, it's important that you do the check, otherwise you won't get the full point marks accredited. Okay, let's try for B. B is a little bit more complex. We've got 4x plus 3y equals 8 and 3x plus 2y equals 7. It's only more complex in its algebra. The method is exactly the same, so we're going to call equation 1 and equation 2. So let's, goodness gracious me, I've got touchy fingers today. Let's rework 2. To make y the subject. So I'm going to go 2y equals 7 minus 3x. And now I need to divide both sides by 2. Alright, so I'm going to substitute this into what did I work with? Equation 2, so I'm going to substitute it back into equation 1. Alright, just doing a little slide so I don't run out of room in this next step. So equation 1 is 4x plus 3y is equal to 8. Now, everywhere there is a y, I'm going to substitute in this element. So let's go. 4x plus 3 lots of 7 minus 3x over 2, and that's all equal to 8. Now, I've got this divide by 2 here, and I'm not so keen on him. So I'm going to multiply everything else in the equation by 2. So I'm going to have 4x times 2 plus 3, oh, I run out of room here, 3 over 2 times that by 2, and 8 times 2. Now these two cancel out, and I'll simplify everything else. I'm going to end up with 8x plus, they've cancelled out, so I'm going to use the distributive law here. 3 times 7 and 3 times 3. So I'm going to end up with 21 minus 9x is equal to 16. Alright, so we're going to gather like terms first in this equation. So we'll gather like terms. I've got an 8x and a 9x here. So 8x minus 9x is negative x. 21 minus x is equal to 16. Minus x is equal to 16 minus 21 is giving me negative 5. I've got this negative thing, so guess what I'm going to do? Multiply by negative 1. X is equal to 5. I'm going to substitute x is equal to 5 and solve for y. And choose an equation to put that into. I might put it into 1. Let's go back to equation 1. That was 4x plus 3y equals 8. And now everywhere there is a y, whoops, sliding. Everywhere there is a y, everywhere there is an x, I'm going to put in x minus 5. So 4 lots of 5 plus 3y equals 8. 20 plus 3y equals 8. Subtract that and I'll end up with minus 12. And divide by 3 gives me negative 4. So I need to substitute those in and check because I have, what did I have? I had x is equal to 5 and y is equal to negative 4. So let's try that out. We'll go back to the check. We'll use equation 2 this time. Let's use equation 2. And we'll write y is negative 4 and x is equal to 5. Let's draw ring again. Equation 2 was 3x plus 2y is equal to 7. So 3 lots of 5 plus 2 lots of negative 4 is equal to 7. 15. Oops. I'm going to undo that. Hang on. Because I've got positive 2 times negative 4, so I'm going to write minus 8 is equal to 7, and that is true. 7 does equal 7. So there we go.